The best thing in the season so far, though, was the flashback to Vander and Silco in the last drop with Vi and Powder's mom.
That's the restoration of the sacred fire, because now you're going back to her origins and the origin of both Jinx and Vi together. Both heroines share this communal sacred fire, the same sacred fire origin. They come from the same people. They come from the same place. When episode 5 goes into this flashback, my heart started to completely break because I don't remember, was the mother in season 1?
You might have seen her dead on the bridge.
Anyway,
you get to season 1, episode 1?
Yeah, so when they go back, first we see Vander. So first off, I'm a little off balance that Vander's even alive. He's in this monstrous, hideous form. And by the way, he fits the archetype for the beast as ally, right? You know, he's a perfect beast as ally, and they even refer to him, the beast has come for you. They actually use the language. They also use the language of Labyrinth, which we can get into later.
Yes.
But he's the beast as ally, and he comes storming back into the story, and he looks hideous. He's a monster. He's a beast. And then you get this flashback, which is a complete contrast to this character's total humanity. He's passive, he's calm, he's gentle, and he's sitting across from his wife, and which is Jinx and Vi's mother. And there's just something about
his wife. No. That's not his wife.
But it's he got her pregnant though, right?
No. That because he says it's what Caller or Connor or whatever. Because he says, "Have you told Connor?" Which is her like lover.
Oh, but I thought it meant that have you told Connor it's his?
Connell. Right.
That's what I thought it meant. Because she's obviously coming to Connell. And anyway, while this exchange is going, there's obviously a lot of compassion between Vander and what's her name, by the way?
The mother. No.
Well, and while you have this compassionate exchange at the last drop, sitting in the background, almost minding his business in the scene, freaking Silco, scribbling something down like a musician, you know. So it's a powerful, powerful scene, and it just hit me right in the feels when this flashback occurred.
I did also, especially the character of the mother is also very, very well animated. There's a lot here. There is a lot of emotion there. It had never occurred to me that Silco knew them.
Felicia.
I thought this. Well, yeah, it does. It recontextualizes everything. I thought to the worse because when. Because in season 1, episode 3, when Silco goes to comfort Powder, I had always contextualized that because he's the bad guy and he's found a way to manipulate somebody new. I never thought of that as because he knows that girl's mother and he's doing so. He's trying to step into a fatherly role because he knows the girl's mother.
Well, I would say that this recontextualizes it for the better. But my thing with Silco is at the time that scene happens in season 1, episode 3, Silco, I don't think he's thinking about Vi and Powder and all that. I think he is Silco in full. So even when that confrontation happens, there's still the sort of, hey, there's some real evil in the world and I'm here to protect you. I don't feel like he was trying to seduce her to get back at Vander directly. I still feel like that was a secondary motivation, that the way he was responding was still as a villain to an innocent person who just experienced betrayal, which is his like source code as a villain. And this is there was like a mentor.
Was there anything in season 1 that made you think that Silco had known Powder before?
I still don't think he knew her. It sounds like about to be born, but I don't think he knew Powder or had any sort of pre-existing relationship with her.
Yeah, I think this works better if there's not.
If anyone in the chat knows otherwise, help us out. But
I think this works better if they're because okay. So clearly, Vander has to experience loss because that's one of the first loss due to the war. Okay, and that's because he talks to Vi about that. He says to Vi, who are you willing to lose? Because Vander is unwilling to fight the war because of what it's going to cost. Who are you willing to lose? So that does establish the idea that in his backstory, when he had tried to fight, he had lost someone important. I mean, okay, that does make sense. But when he's looking at the carnage of the bridge, which, am I right in saying that Silco instigated that? Am I right in saying that?
That Silco instigated what?
The carnage at the bridge, which resulted in Vi and Powder's parents' death.
I did. Yes, I did assume that.
Okay, so that's what I thought too. So then there we go. And when he's looking at the situation, like, I got these dead parents here, what do I do with these children? I think it would be great to have him have that realization in the moment and not be like, oh, I'm responsible for these children even before that happened.
Well, I'll have to go back and rewatch season 1.
Better with Megan says Silco and Vander instigated.
Yeah, I mean, it was an ongoing conflict. And Vander, remember the way he was portrayed early on in season 1 as kind of an old guard warrior who was trying to settle down in a way, and run a bar and raise his daughters and still be a father figure to them. And yet the battle was pulling him in. They keep pulling me back in. He kept getting kind of pulled into it. So Silco and Vander were still, I think, very much at odds with each other. But I never got the sense that Silco was deliberately trying to target Powder for to seduce her to come to the dark side. I have a feeling that was more incidental contact. No, I feel like it was more like these are the two godfathers of the conflict that we met when we started this story. Silco and Xander. These are two of the big players of Zaun. Here they are, and here's a woman in between them, right? And she's saying, make the world a better place. I mean, she's tasking them in this very innocent moment at the bar. She's like, make the world a better place. And what's horrible about it is while we see this rather idyllic moment in the tavern, we know that these two just completely failed at this task. They did not make the world a better place. They've destroyed the world worse off than it ever was before. And we even understand a little bit why on both sides. So it's one of those. I think it's a great scene because it shows an idyllic moment before something is obliterated. And you have these two characters here, and they're both innocent in this scene. And I think having the presence of the mother figure, and not just any mother, but Vi and Jinx's mother, it just adds a powerful presence into the ethos of this conflict that we didn't know existed. That there was a directive from this woman to make the world a better place, and that these two had failed. So I don't know. I thought this was really good stuff.